Welcome to the, I guess this would be the second round of the inaugural city council. First term is coming to a close on the 20th. That is Saturday next week. So the elections will be open. The ballots will be open until that point, roughly around 7 p.m. Eastern on the 20th. Now, we have organized with the, graceful assistance and direction of Miss Thoroughbred over there, Siobhan, this debate so y'all can better inform yourselves about the various candidates, their platforms, their opinions, and you can just get them in the flesh. You can ask them something, put them on the spot. Feel free once we get to questions. We're going to just start off pretty basic. I'd just like to get each person up here, talk very briefly about like your party and your overall platform. Let's keep it in like a 30-second type elevator pitch, and then we'll move on to some more substantive questions. I would ask that you guys be respectful as you can. Obviously you may feel the need to yell things out at different times, but let's try to keep some level of decorum. All right, and with that, I guess we'll start with the incumbent, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Thoroughbred.
Hi everyone, I'm Maximillion Thoroughbred. I am the current mayor of Los Santos. I was fortunate enough to be voted in the last time by a lot of you in the crowd. I've spoken to many of you personally, one-on-one. Most of you know what I'm about, but for the sake of the elevator pitch, I'll hit you now with the facts. 15 minutes after taking office, I lowered taxes across the board, and after being gifted the ability to do so by the state, I lowered them even further. I stand for less work, more pay, meaning less time on the back of a sanitation truck or in a G6 truck, and more pay at the end of the shift that you are doing to ensure that you are able to enjoy your lives in Los Santos, not slaving away day in, day out. This pay raise applies to not only clean workers of the city, but also doctors, EMS, even the police department. And that is what I will be operating on moving forward. I believe that the state has a large amount of money, and I believe that that large amount of money should be reinvested into all of you. Thank you.
That's right.
Hello, I'm Simone. I'm the current deputy mayor. The TLDR is I do plan on bringing back fishing because a lot of people do want that. But at the same time, I also do feel like with the tools that we've now been given, there is a possibility for us to improve pay and help out people across the board. There is still some problem areas that we do want to improve. Other than that, I do feel like as what we have done as the mayor's office is a pretty good baseline, and we do want to keep that going. We want to make sure that everyone is being treated equally, and we try to look after everyone as well.
Wow, he said we.
So I think that's about it.
Yo, what's going on, guys? My name's Little Tuggz, also known as Stanley. Stanley, my government name, dude. That's why I like Little Tuggz. I'm just a 19-year-old with a dream. And I think, instead of using all kind of boring word, my platform pretty simple. If a 19-year-old can understand it, then probably everyone can, dude. It mean like you don't need the political speak. I want to keep the police department accountable, and I have shown that I can do this because I beat them back to back in court, and the first one that make them pay me money for trying to put the false charges on me. I want the police, when they talk to you, they don't treat you like a piece of shit and assume you're just a dirty criminal, dude. You people matter, and they work for you, not the other way around. And that include the government, dude. And that would include me if you vote for me, dude. I also want to see good pay for everybody, but I don't want us all to be tied down to this day-night bullshit. There should be maximum amount of time. Everyone work every week on their job. Let's say 20 hours. And then once you're done, that's it. So then you don't have to be competing with people that do 80 hours, and you can pick and choose when you work. I also want to bring representation to the sewer people, because there's a lot of people that live down there, and the government trying to lock it down. And that's not fair, dude. Thank you. Yo, I think I almost pissed myself, dude.
Hello, Los Santos. I'm Archie Archer, and I'm so grateful I was able to get this far. And I want to thank everyone I have met for their support. I am humbly dropping out from this race, and I am endorsing Maximillion Thoroughbred.
Oh my god.
I truly want what is best for this city, and I've come to the conclusion that Max's vision aligns with mine, and he is more experienced. Having a second term will be more beneficial and productive for the city. I hope to have the chance to run again in the future, and I want to thank you all for your support again. I'll resume my Civilian Oversight Board duties, and I look forward to continuing working with Max and the Council of Eight to help better the city. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Archie.
We love you, Archie.
Very honorable, Archie.
Very honorable.
You're a coward.
Archie, I didn't make you quit, did I? Oh my God, dude. Archie, please. Like, can they hear me in the crowd?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, shit.
No, we can't.
All right, we'll go ahead and we'll do like, if y'all ever done like fantasy football, we'll do the snake method. So first up for this question will be Mr. Miller. So the question to all candidates one at a time is going to be, how will you affect change in the upcoming term to ensure the stable growth of both our city and our values? So what are your primary things that you would change that you think will stimulate growth and promote good values in the city? Mr. Miller, you're first.
I already touched on maximum amount that you can work a week and just being able to choose when you can work. Because I think, you know, everyone being tied down to when the sun come up and come down, you got to like pick and choose, like you got to stop what you're doing and not get to like hang out with your friends and do other things. I think that's gonna make it so everyone on a lot more even playing field, and they don't feel like they gotta work all the time. That's gonna drive the prices down because you're not competing against multi-millionaire hunter and stuff. The second thing though is I don't think there's enough people that get to try to start their business. We got all these like property that abandoned. Like why? I think that the city should be able to lease that out and let people like start their locksmithing business and share the pay with the city to pay for those locations. Because the more business there is, the more vibrant the city is and more opportunity for people instead of just working for the state. Thank you.
Going forward, I think we need to make sure that everything across the board is kind of balanced out. So we don't want people to kind of flip-flop. We want people to do what they want to do. If you want to do sanitation, obviously that should be your job. That if that's what you want to do, it should pay the equal amount as any other job. So going forward, we want that to be the same for every single sector. If you want to do G6, if you want to do crime, you want to do lumbering, you want the payout to be the same to make it feel like you are earning the same amount as everyone else. As for businesses, we do want people to branch out. We don't want people to be locked down. If you want to start a new mechanic shop somewhere else, obviously we want that to happen. As of right now, I feel like the mayor's office has done what they could. to the people that don't know, a lot of these business proposals are already approved, but are being reviewed by another party. So, we want to keep that going. It's not that you cannot get a business. We want businesses to go, but right now it's limited in terms of what we can do. Do support everyone wanting to do their own thing, and I feel like we should do the same going forward. So.
Hi. What are the main complaints about our current administration has been? Where are the businesses? What's going on with those? What's happening? I have to say this to everyone. Basically, you hear that honking? Everyone.
I'll show you his light.
Okay, let me explain the process that must be done in order to get a business. 1, you submit it to the mayor's office. 2, I have to submit after we review that. I have to submit that to the chief justice, and then after that, it needs to be submitted to the state, and then after that, it goes back to the chief justice, and then after that, it goes back to me. Right now, we are at step 3, i.e., it goes to the state. My wife and I have worked hard and diligently in order to ensure that everyone who has an entrepreneurial spirit has had their business reviewed, be it for approval or denial, in order to then be pushed along in that process. Because that is a big part of what's missing for the actual growth of Los Santos, is giving the actual people of Los Santos the ability to operate out of these buildings, like Mr. Miller said, with the machinery that they need, with the products that they want to make. And I have some news about that. For quite a bit of time, the Council of Eight considered making these businesses something that felons would not be able to enjoy, in order to reward people who were clean citizens of Los Angeles, which is a feat in of itself. However, I am pleased to inform you that in the future, there will be opportunities for felons to own businesses like, for example, a record label. They don't produce like an actual product, right? But per se, like an actual like food or, furniture or whatever. But, it's still a place for people to maybe get back on the right track and to still enjoy that economic prosperity while simultaneously rewarding people who are clean in order to give them different access to the business circuit within Los Santos. Long story short, term 2 for me is going to be focusing on getting that rolling in order to allow people to truly prosper in Los Santos. Thank you.
Alrighty, and again, as we're doing this snake format, we'll start with Max on this next question. Question is going to be, the city council has heard a number of requests recently related to the well-being, pay, maintenance, and other things related to first responders. What are your thoughts on the state of, EMS, PD, the first responders out on the front lines dealing with the city when it's on fire, both literally and figuratively? Max, you're up first.
For a long time, first responders were in a bad spot, and I would say that they still are in a bad spot. I think that working EMS, for example, is probably one of the most not unrewarding, but most thankless jobs in Los Santos. And in order to compensate for that, when I was imbued with the powers by the state to do so, I pretty much instantly raised their pay. I think EMS is getting $1,300 per hour right now, which is more than doctors, more than lawyers, more than city council, more than deputy mayor. I myself, right now, courtesy of my fiscal policy, which is, minimum work, maximum pay for you guys, I'm actually making $1 an hour right now. As for first responders, my wife and I have my chief of staff have flirted with the idea of trying to really tackle the inherent problems at the LSMG. That's the Los Santos Medical Group. Those are doctors, EMS, to figure out. Recently there was a resignation from a longtime EMS chief and her girlfriend, who was the deputy chief, I guess. I will say right now that EMS as a whole is fortunate to have Mr. Happy leading them right now. He's a good man. I've spoken to him quite a few times. He's on duty a lot. His deputy's cool too. Right now, what first responders need most of all is we need to respect their work and to ensure that they feel like their role in Los Santos proper is something that is valued by everyone else, because it oftentimes is something that is overlooked or taken for granted. I myself have taken it for granted quite a few times. I believe that one way that we as a group, should you be interested in taking this challenge with me, is to stop with the self-transport. It is dangerous. Technically, it's illegal. It's reckless endangerment, which is a felony. And that alone, provided that there are enough EMS on duty, will most certainly empower them to feel like they're actually out there making a difference. As for the police, who are also first responders, I did draft up the controversial police continuity plan, which was a plan to finally give the LSPD some actual outside oversight, instead of hiding in their little cockroach holes waiting for the state to come down on them with a hammer when they finally fucked up enough times visibly for the state to come down on them. And it is with that power that the mayor's office has finally given them the oversight that they need in order to ensure that they have the tools that they have to succeed. I still remember a meeting that I had with all three of the LSPD captains the night before I put this up to the council vote, the PCP, that is. And I remember hearing Brooke Ruth suggest treason to me because she suggested overthrowing the Council of Eight in order to combat my idea that there would be any entity in the government that would provide oversight for the LSPD. Which, of course, was so disgusting to me, I kicked them all out of my office, went to the council room the next day, and got the PCP passed in order to begin attempting to correct all of the blunders that these three captains had essentially done. Ruth instantly and without apology stopped signing on to duty because she was under investigation for treason. Turner, who had been absent for a whole month, did show up briefly and continued to basically not show up and then eventually resign himself. And the reason they did this is because in that meeting, good citizens of Los Santos, they told me to my face, Mayor Max, it's going to take 6 months to have a functional chain of command. 6 months from that day that I was speaking to them. And it was then that I knew that the PCP was something that was required, so that I could give the good cops of the LSPD the opportunity to be realized for their talents instead of fucked around by a bunch of power-hungry megalomaniacs who could not understand and admit that their attempt at a triarchy had just completely failed not only themselves, but the people of Los Santos. I look forward to continuing to working with the first responders, the police included. Thank you for listening.
Good shit.
Yeah, do things for the EMS.
Yeah, Lenny Hawk.
I agree with a lot of things that Max just said. EMS as a whole is a thankless job, and people do not seem to care too much about them. They are out there to try and save your life. They do come out when you are in need, and people don't seem to realize that.
Well, it's just 4 GSW, dirt on it.
I talked to a few people not too long ago about going on a ride along, because one thing is hearing it from EMS and hearing it from people that how bad it is to go and do your job, but another thing is going out there and experiencing it, because people don't seem to realize that we need EMS. We need them to save our life. When you go out there and you hit a local and you eat shit, they're there to bring you back and put you on your feet so you can go back out there and do your thing. And for some reason, people just they take it for granted. They shit on the people actually out there saving your life. It goes for both EMS, it goes for doctors too, that you go to the hospital, they are there saving your life, and you're like, I don't want to be here, which is fair because nobody wants to be in the hospital. The hospital is not a nice place to be, but they're there to try and save your life. They're trying to make your life better, and I feel like people need to realize that. I do still plan, even if I do not get elected, to go out and experience this and just see how it is to be an EMS. In terms of the PD, like Max said, they were in a rough spot when we first got elected. I think personally that they're in a better spot. I think they're not perfect as of yet. I think there's still things that can't be improved. I don't think it's as bad as it was a few months ago, but there's definitely still a lack. The problem is also that PD as a whole is also a thankless job that people they shit on the PD. So there's a turnaround, which is not something that we want. We want people to stick around. We want people to enjoy their job. We want people to not lose interest. Because the issue is that as of right now, people get their job, somebody else has to teach them that job, and then somebody falls out. They have to carry and take over that person's issues and workload, and it just keeps being an issue that keeps accumulating, and we just never get to that point that we want to be. But we want that. There's something that we definitely want to improve going forward, is that people want to go to work and do their job and not have people shit on them all day, basically. So that's about it for the first responders. Yeah.
All right, good shit.
I'm going to break it into the two different parts as well. Let's start with EMS. EMS should not be having to fight and struggle to like fix their EMS ambulance, because they already have a hard enough job. I think first off, state should be paying for that, not them having to pay from their pocket, because they're the ones that truly trying to save our life every day. Secondly, they need to have a helicopter so they can save people that get injured on like Mount Chiliad, so they're not trying to kill themselves trying to climb up there with their ambulance and stuff. The third is, I think one of the biggest problem that even the civilian have when it comes with the EMS is EMS go all the way to Polito, and they get there and there's no body, because that person probably waiting there for 15 minutes wondering if EMS gonna come or not. And that's not on the fault of the EMS or the person that had to be rushed to the hospital by their friend, because they don't want their friend to die. So I think the biggest investment outside of the ambulance and the helicopter is a better like system where the person who calling 911 can know that somebody actually coming. So that way they know not to leave, and they're not having to guess whether they got to take call the secondary local EMS or whatever you want to call it, dude. Now let's move on to the other thing. EMS saving lives. But there is a problem. I'm going to disagree with the two. The police department worse today than it ever has been, dude. Some of these police officers are like children that need a babysitter to beat them over the head. They have lost their complete discipline. They are shooting people without any reason. I want to point you at the court case from 2 days ago in which they shot up myself. They shot me, hands up, without a weapon, in my hand while I was in the highway. And when the judge said, "You wrong," and paid me $20,000 for them trying to murder me, the response by one of the captain was, "Maybe I should shoot him in the head instead next time, dude."
Copper dogs.
And I think some of you in the audience probably already also experienced this. You're just trying to do your job, doing your grime, doing your tow truck, and the police come and they treat you like a criminal. You're not even doing anything illegal. I have videotapes that will be released of interview from various police officers. It's going to be released in the next 48 hours. Some of them are going to shock you. In one instance, when asked why is the mass murder of one police officer who shot at his own cops yesterday, why was he only charged with small crimes when others who have shot cops have been given so much? The answer was, those other people are criminal scumbag. But this guy, he a cop, and he just messed up a little bit. You're gonna see another video of a officer who pulled a gun on a civilian, and when asked, why did that happen? The answer was, they were just having a bad day. These people, these police, they work for us. Things need to change, so they know they work for us, dude. And finally, in order to compensate for the anger they got, I will put a program in place where the people of Los Santos will pick, instead of these bonuses that they get because they working a scoreboard and trying to stack charges just to like win some points and more paycheck. Instead, the people are gonna vote who the best cop of the week is, and they're gonna get a turbo, dude, because we know that's what the police love. Thank you.
All right.
He's smarter than he looks, man. What the fuck?
I do need to just point out, in fairness to your understanding as the public and the other candidates up here, most people in the inaugural city council were in favor of the concept of an EMS helicopter at some point. That was raised in the first week or so.
All of us were.
Yes, I'm just being safe by saying, most, if not all, were in favor of it. The issue is that currently the way that it is set up for PD and EMS, they kind of keep what they kill, so to speak. So much like you guys out there who are not given a budget for your social group or whatever else you take part in, PD and EMS only make their own salaries, and if they want to upgrade their equipment, buy better cars, things like that, they would do so the same way any of you do. So the state has effectively decided against issuing them large purchases like a helicopter, for example. That being said, I have another question for the panel, starting with Mr. Miller there. So what is your overall approach to fiscal policy? And what would you do to ensure the state budget stays balanced? And before Mr. Miller comes up here, I will offer some context here. In addition to what I've just said about PD budgets, EMS budgets, the way that it currently works in our economy is that all government salaries, so all pay, everything that would be given out to PD, including potential budgets or anything like that, it is all derived through tax revenue. There is no magical pool of money where the state will just, sell off bonds and, give us a cash infusion. If the state account hits zero, we're all fucked. So, that in mind, how would you approach fiscal policy to make sure we don't hit zero and end up in another crisis? Mr. Miller.
Yo, I don't know about you guys, but I don't know what the fuck he just said, dude. All I know is we trying to get those paychecks and trying to be fair in how much money we getting. Okay, like fiscal, what the fuck, dude? Like, listen, dude, like we get the paycheck at the bank, we work hard, and if people need the money, like I'm sure like there's people that can like figure out what the heck these words mean, and I'm gonna put the export in place that can help balance all that, instead of using these complicated words that, just make things sound complicated, but probably a hell of a lot simpler. Thank you.
We want to make sure that the government still has a budget as a whole. As something like I said earlier, we want to make sure that everyone is enjoying that work that they do. So if our budget is running low, obviously we would make the changes that promotes a healthy work-life balance, but keeping it in a way where people can choose what they want to do. So if you still, again, want to work sanitation, you want to work G6, you want to work grime, we make sure that you're still getting paid the same amount so you can keep that job. At the same time, we have been trying to promote events across the board. So if you do want to go out, you want to make an event, all you have to do is basically just make sure that you note down your expenses, and we will make sure to give you the money back. That is something that I want to do going forward as well, because events is something that does drive the city. Having people doing concerts, whatever else you really can imagine is something that we do want to promote. So that is something that we still want to keep there, but we also want to make sure that, again, you do the job that you want to do. We don't want to force you to do G6 if you are a person that is currently doing crime. We just, again, balancing it, making sure that everyone is getting paid the same, making sure that everything is balanced across the board. Thank you.
Hi. Right now, my fiscal policy, as previously stated, is less work, minimal work, maximum pay. I have been reinvesting the state's funds into ensuring that people who work civilian jobs are being rewarded as much as is possible. This includes, stuff like senior buns and stuff. Now, like Mr. Alan Crane said, huge fucking problem if that budget goes into zero, because that means you guys no longer start getting paid. However, fortunately for all of you, I have done extensive testing with people from all over Los Santos in regards to these jobs. I've observed the trends, and I have seen what needs to be done, when it needs to be done. Right now, we are in a spending phase. This is to ensure that everyone is able to recover, along with Los Santos, economically. And I foresee that being the case for the next couple of months at minimum. Thank you.
All right. I had some other questions written down, but to be honest with you, I think I've heard enough of the typical pitches and, stances and all that political shit. I'd rather hear you guys ask some questions. So if we could form sort of like a line towards the front here, if anyone has any questions they'd like to ask of the candidates or a specific candidate, feel free to do so up at the microphone there, just one at a time. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, I have one question for the candidates. What are we going to do to stop the blue on blue violence?
Okay. Which are you talking about? The cop yesterday that shot Captain Slacks in the face 6 times?
Yeah, what are we going to do about the PD so they stop shooting each other?
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure this is like never happened before.
Is it going to happen again?
I mean, he's in prison, right?
Yes, yes.
And he got fired, right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
True.
So
Okay.
No, probably not.
Okay, well, actual question, okay? I just wanted to stir with you.
Okay.
When are you going to abolish Dogtown, and when are you getting rid of it?
I don't know. I know you guys have some vocal concerns about Dogtown. I certainly am annoyed to pieces by Bobby Charles on.
Bobby's here.
Bobby, it's a mayoral debate,
Hey,
not a
off the
dog.
Get him off the fucking stage!
Bobby,
Fuck Bobby. Fuck Bobby.
Fuck you, Bobby! Fuck you, Bobby!
Speak for a moment, please.
it's just like,
Hey,
can
Lenny, take the shot. Lenny, take the
Shut
shot.
up, Bobby. No one wants to hear you.
Lenny, take the shot.
Where's the Lenny at?
Where's Lenny when you need him?
Don't call him in.
Guys, what's with all the concerns about my
Shut the
beautiful dog?
fuck up.
What's with all the
Put
concerns
Bill
about
on the
dogs
mic.
The concern is you and Carmine with your guns. We get sent up and you gun us down like dogs and you make fun of us. We want
You're
you
wrong,
gone.
Dundee. You don't get gunned down like dogs. You get gunned down like maggots, Dundee, because that's what you people are. You never
Call us a
learn.
maggot
You're gonna
one more
keep
fucking
getting
time.
You're gonna keep getting gunned down. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You're not gonna do nothing.
What are we gonna do?
Oh, what about
And
the
you're
time
gonna
you
get
kidnapped me from the street?
hey.
What do you think I will? You don't think I will?
Oh, shit.
Call me a maggot one more time, Bobby.
Look at him.
You enjoy beating people down? You like that? You enjoy
Not
it?
even reform. They leave my penitentiary. So rebellious.
Hey, you won't be his ass.
Fuck you and fuck your penitentiary.
So listen, we all know Carmine and Bobby kind of a bit, dude, and they probably power tripping and over there. I gotta use this opportunity. Like, listen, dude, like, I think if you facing a lot of time in prison and you don't want to spend time with them, I think people that be facing charges should be given a option to do like probationary work for like sanitation or some alternative, because not every sentence should require you to have to deal with sitting and dealing with these guys in prison.
It's
for
got
God knows how long.
rehabilitation, Tuggz.
Shut the fuck up, bitch. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Hey, you're doing a great job, bro.
Just beat Bobby's ass and Carmine's ass.
Wait.
Just beat their ass.
Right now?
Oh my god.
You're gonna get help, Bobby, bro.
Next.
Damn. Next question. Anyone?
I got a question.
Sure. Is that, who are you, sir?
Oh, it's me, Matt Rhodes.
Are you
Hi,
speaking
Matt
into
Rhodes.
the microphone, Matt
Can you
Rhodes?
speak in the microphone?
I think if he stand up on the stage, we can. Everyone.
Yeah,
can
come up on the stage and
On the
ask.
stage.
Oh, I picked it up.
Oh no.
Come up
Yeah,
on
just
stage.
come up on stage.
All right, yeah, I'll do that.
He's stealing.
No, I'm not stealing. I'm not stealing.
He's a stealer.
I'll hand it back to someone. Wait, can you hear me? Let me.
Yeah, everyone can hear you when you're on
There
stage.
we are.
You can
Perfect.
hear from the front
So,
of the stage. It's cool.
Hello, the mayor,
Hi.
Matt Rhodes. I have a question regarding something you said earlier.
Oh my God.
Hi. Another news. Earlier today you mentioned that you only get paid $1 an hour.
Yeah.
Now is that something just like a talking point or like
What the fuck
no,
is it?
that's something you did like very recently?
in front of me,
I've been getting paid $1, probably for like the past 2.5 weeks, and that's courtesy of the way that I've directed the state funds currently to pay better for basically everyone else in the city.
Got it. What was your pay prior to?
I really don't know. It's like it's not. I get paid based on how well the budget is doing.
Wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. So let me get this straight.
Let me explain this to you very
go ahead.
very carefully. If the state is making a lot of money at the expense of everyone in the crowd and you, that extra money gets funneled into the mayor's paycheck. That's just the way that it works.
Ah. Okay. Last question. If you had to sort of guesstimate how much money you've earned within your term, do you know how much that would roughly be?
Probably over the last 3 months, probably about like 150,000, probably, ish.
Got it. Okay. I guess that really wasn't my last question. How do you afford one of them carbonizaires?
I took out a loan.
Ooh. How much was the car?
$270,000.
Okay.
Ish.
All right.
Are you my accountant, Rhodes?
No, I was just curious. I'm just trying to figure out, whether or not you're good with money or anything. You should be in charge. Shut up.
Well, I'm quite good with money, and more than that, my wife, former judge Simone Thoroughbred, has a master's in finance.
Oh, okay.
That's me. Hi.
All right. Hello. All right. Is it safe to assume that this is a package deal if you were to be the mayor? Would she still be the chief of staff?
Of course.
EMS is
Got it.
finishing the
Okay.
911 she's doing,
All right.
and then she's
Yeah,
gonna
that's the only questions I got for now.
Okay.
Did this motherfucker just interrogate your ass? Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like 5 questions.
Welcome to my life.
Welcome to my life, dude. What you mean? It's my everyday, dude.
Hello. Can everyone in the crowd hear me okay?
What up?
Okay, awesome. Hello, everyone. Name's Silas Moreno. I have a question for Mr. Thoroughbred.
Mm-hmm.
There was a recent incident where your Carbonazar was towed in front of City Hall as a result of an illegal park.
Right.
And
You're the one who flagged it.
I did not flag it, no.
Okay, sure. Norman Adams didn't tell you to flag my car out in front of City Hall?
No, I didn't flag it.
Okay, sure.
If I can continue my question.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Go on.
In the following days after that tow, multiple tow workers reported that their wages were cut by roughly 10 to 15%. Can you clarify as to whether these two incidents are related at all? And if so, whether that goes against your campaign motto of less work and more pay?
So for a long time, and this kind of goes back into what I was talking about with testing the new powers that were imbued to me by the state. Towing at one point accounted for all Group 6 and Grime combined was less. It cost less to pay them out from the state budget than towing alone. And in order to stop the horrible hemorrhaging that was happening to the state account, because there was some sort of error on the back end that was causing it to be basically charged like 2 times, or way more than it was supposed to be, I did drop towing almost immediately down once I realized that. So basically, the way that it worked is, at first, I could not control towing pay. Then I could control towing pay. And then I saw, oh God, towing is costing the state $10 million in 7 days compared to the $7 million of Group 6 at Grime. I'm going to drop that immediately. And the tow pay actually was dropped well before I had my car towed out in front of City Hall by you and Norman Adams and Ophelia.
I can confirm, since I have access to the same things, that the sliders or anything hasn't been changed for ever. It's been the same across the board.
I did raise towing today, though, from 75% of normal to 100%. So, hooray!
I retract my statement.
Great. Thank you for answering my question. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Is that Chris King?
Hold my hand, Daddy.
Hop on up.
Yes.
What's up, boys?
Are we loud already? Are we loud?
Is that Zolo?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What up, Zolo?
What's up, Max?
What's your guys' question?
I have a question for Tuggz and for the current mayor, but I'm gonna let Z get his shit on.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a question for this like 19-year-old because I want to know if he knows shit type shit, you know?
Yeah, I got you, dude. Can you guys all in the crowd hear me, dude? Just like wave your hand.
Yeah.
Like you just don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah, what that dollar?
I'm kind of curious. Like, what's the pay for jobs gonna look like, and what do you have like planned for that?
Absolutely, dude. Like, okay, the question like way before with the fiscal, I don't even know what the fuck words they were using, but like, or the pay goes up and down or whatever the fuck. I can tell you this. I've worked G6, Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 with a lot of my G6 friends like Alozando and Blondie and a bunch of the other cool people, dude. I've also worked all the way up in the last month doing grime and rusing 60 weapon a week and building it back up. I've done tow trucking. I've even done a little bit of sanitation. My point being that I've had a lot of experience with a lot of these jobs, and I know how each job have its own struggle. You can look at some of the numbers and be like, oh my God, grime making so much money, dude. But I also understand that grime, for example, that people losing entire days worth of work just because I don't know, they won't take the package or something, and then all the repair costs that come with it. So I'm sure it's easy to just look at these like numbers and make it think that one job making more than another, but I know the reality is a lot more complicated. And so not only with my experience that I got from working myself, but also by relying on people like Alexander, Bwandi, the people in the tow, the people doing the grime, that the amount people making going to be based on how much it costing them to do the work in the first place.
Okay, I appreciate that answer. Thank you.
My turn.
Oh, and yeah, and guys, whoever wins mayor gets a mayor song. I'm just putting that out there from now. You know, gets the best song in the city. All
Fire.
right, go ahead, Chris.
All right, I got a question for Mayor Dabs currently. Sir, a long time ago, I was injured. I was hurt. A cop accidentally hit me, but I remember you stopping in the middle of your day to see if I was right. You kneeled down to me. You said, sir, just because you might be a criminal doesn't mean I don't care, and I'm here, and you gave me care. Are you going to continue to give the care that you gave to me to the rest of the people of the city? The care that you know damn well that we deserve? Because I just want to make sure you're still going to do it.
The thing that really gives me joy these days is meeting new people and talking to them and helping people just like you, Mr. King. And it is my express pleasure to do so at every given opportunity. I'm always in the yellow pages. I'm always at City Hall. Contact me, call me, beat me if you want to reach me. I'm about to answer your phone, dog.
I know, you're always there. And Tuggz, a man of great honor, 19 years old and standing strong. I know you to be a man of the streets and a man of knowledge. Will you hold everyone accountable in the police that a man could go and grab something from the grocery store and not be profiled just because he might want to steal some chips? These cops are crazy. How will you control and put these motherfuckers in their place?
I think the biggest lack that police have is basic professionalism, because I don't think they know what that word means. I think that if you are not actively believed to be doing a crime, they don't have like the evidence for it. If they coming up to you, harassing you, profiling you because what they think you might have done or what you think they might you be involved in, those motherfuckers need to be pulled out and thrown off the duty, dude. Because they're the ones that creating the criminal and making people do things that they otherwise would not do. Because they don't feel protected, they feel under attack.
Oh my God. You hear it today, guys. And I just want to say, I'm Puerto Rican and the Latino community is with Tuggz and Mayor Dab.
Yay.
Yeah.
Hooray.
Odale! Let's
go! Uriel, you're up next. Okay.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Whitlock.
Yeah, my name's Uriel Whitlock. Just for my benefit and the rest of the citizens of Los Santos, could you all please share your combined combat levels and also your fishing levels in RuneScape?
105, almost 106, and my fishing level is 71. Mike?
Those are rookie fishing numbers. You gotta get those
100.
numbers up.
And my fishing skill is non-existing.
Oh.
What the heck is a RuneScape, dude?
Yeah!
All right. That answers everything for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Uriel. Turgle, I think you're next. What up?
What up?
Hello.
This is a question for Michael and the other guy. Since Max answered this already, who would the chief of staff be for you guys?
In my case, that would be Jenny Hall. If Jenny Hall refuses to take the position, it would probably be Siobhan.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay.
For me, it's very important that these seats that be opening, whether it's on this board of 8 people, whether it's the advisory stuff, that those people is around. So the way that I would like to do this is I would give a 4-day window where people can show their interest, and those that I feel have the most like passion to do it and the experience would be taking that position.
So you don't have like anyone in mind
All right.
at all, or?
I think there's plenty of people, some that I know, some that I have yet to meet, and hopefully meet after this event, that can fill that position. So I would open that up.
Word.
Alright, so he got no plan. I see. One more question, quick, for Max. When are we gonna get skateboards in the city?
You guys want skateboards,
Very
bro?
good question.
Yeah!
Yes.
Yeah, we fucking do.
I promise I will
East fucking
petition to
total.
the state to import
about fucking
skateboards, and they won't be signed by Bam Margera, which makes them even cooler.
Fuck yeah.
That's great. But my
Alright,
vote.
that's all my questions.
Next, sir, what's your name?
Bringle Dingus.
Bringle Dingus. Well met. What's your question?
So you talked about already about how like the EMS are to get paid like a lot more than everybody.
Yeah.
But there's still like extended periods of time where you can call for EMS help and there's nobody around to actually
Right.
help. Because being an EMS, it fucking
It's hard.
sucks.
It's hard.
Yeah. So outside of just, increasing the amount of money that's being paid to the EMS, what do you guys plan on doing to actually improve the lives of the EMS so that people are like, actually, being EMS?
One way to do that is to kind of probe because they spend a lot of time in their ambulance, making that driving experience more comfortable in the form of, and I'm not, once again, like the Chief Justice said, I'm not proposing that the state pay for brand new vehicles for them, but putting out the feelers stateside in order to determine what is going to be available to them to make their job more engaging and more exciting. I think that's probably the biggest issue. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, just to find something else for them to cruise in, and then help them by way of my fiscal policy of, like you said, making sure they get paid basically more than everyone else in the city, so that they can easily afford that stuff and get out there on the street.
I'm up next.
Yeah.
All right. I think the primary thing is just making sure that people realize that we need EMS. We need to make sure that they enjoy their job. Making EMS and the doctors hate their life isn't improving anything for us. They're out there to save you. They're there to get you back on your feet. Making their life hell is, I feel like it's counterproductive. And I don't understand why people do it. Like, EMS has never done anything to you. They're there to help you. And I feel like that's how it should be going forward, is that we need EMS. If they don't need us. I guess they kind of do because it's their job, but at the same time they can refuse. If you're being a piece of shit, why would they help you? People need to realize that we need them, they don't really need us. And I support EMS because, again, they've saved my life multiple times.
Look, I can say, yo, we need EMS, but most of the people in this crowd probably had their friend put them in a vehicle and drive them to the hospital instead of waiting. That the solution is not getting everyone to be like, yo, dude, we got to love the EMS and get in the ambulance. We need to make people want to use the ambulance. And that means get them the helicopter so they can get to the people quicker. We need to maybe get them the medical stuff. So if you take the ambulance, maybe the ambulance can help, like, patch you up a little bit by the time you get to hospital. And the third, as I mentioned before at the beginning, is that when someone calls for EMS, there should be a way for that EMS to alert the person who 911 that they are on the way, so they're not left there guessing whether they're gonna die, bleeding out for 20 minutes, or ambulance gonna come.
Well, I think they already do that. I'm pretty sure they say EMS en route if they're on the way.
I think a better system than responding to the 911, because sometimes you use your alert system, and that does not let the person know have any feedback. So while EMS is doing what I think your best to your power, you need the tools that going to make people want to work with you even more.
Just one quick follow up. You said that everyone was in favor of getting EMS a helicopter, but you don't want to pay for EMS vehicles. But I don't understand why, because like there's a big difference between paying for like a Group 6 vehicle and like paying for an ambulance.
Let's be
for everybody.
Let's be clear. It was state mandated that we would not use state funds to directly fund the police and the LSMG. That's just fucking stupid. That is how it is. That is how it's going to be forever. In order to compensate for this, pretty much almost immediately after I received the power to raise their pay, I did to essentially give them a budget so that we could compensate for, in the past, them getting free vehicles and free, basically stuff right from the state funds.
Can't you just like funnel a portion of their pay into like a pool so that they can use that to buy a helicopter?
I would heavily encourage, in fact, that's what I tried telling the LSPD before I was gifted those powers, was to, work together. You may have seen one of them hop up on stage earlier in order to grill me about my finances. That's Matt Rhodes. He did that because I grilled him about his finances and asked him, how come in this brotherhood of the LSPD, it's so hard for you guys to fathom maybe pooling your money together to get new vehicles and stuff to make it easier to do your job. I don't know how the EMS feel about that. That said, they shouldn't have to worry about that because I've raised their pay to such a level that level of cooperation probably will not be necessary, except for maybe potentially in the case of a helicopter, which will probably be, if it will ever be available, millions of dollars.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
No problem. Thank you, Bringle. Windsong.
Oh, shit.
Thank you for coming.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Shit, what was I gonna ask you? Oh, yeah. Do you take any super PACs or special interest money?
No.
Okay.
You other guys?
I
Think about it.
have to be honest, and I need to ask what that means.
A super PAC is essentially a group of lobbyists that will typically give politicians money to promote their ideas. We don't. There's no super PACs here, Woods.
No.
There's not?
I don't think so.
No, there's not.
I mean, I gotta make sure though, because I want you to like respond to us, not like some rich guy.
Yeah, of course.
And also, how will you help artists and musical talent in the city who are, flipping burgers and shit?
The musical talent, I think there's a lot of it in the city, and I know it can be very difficult for artists to be struggling, and there's a lot of them. Like there's a bunch of stuff popping up on the chart right now, dude. It's getting spicy, and hopefully it continue to be spicy. And I think the easy solution would be like obviously concert where people pay, but honestly, the best answer is I think working with the artist and finding a way to empower them, probably the right move. Maybe like a radio station. I don't know, dude.
I think in terms of like having festivals and concerts, having the state fund that is something that I want to do for sure, because we had people submit and we have their songs on the radio currently. It's something we do want to support for sure. If it's either a concert or some sort of event, it's something we want to continue supporting.
Yeah. I've continually pushed for the treasurer to meet with people so that she can essentially audit requests for events that people are running and throwing to be compensated by the state at a reasonable level. It's a weighty process right now, and I'm always looking for ideas to streamline that. Essentially, we were willing to comp the bill for like food and all sorts of stuff that would be present at big events, so that people could throw them without fear of essentially being in the hole. Because that's how it was before the council actually got together. Is there were a couple of groups that were throwing events, and they were like, hey, I thought because I had to pay $250 to get into a tequila law event, probably like the first month after the city reopened to the public. And I went to one of the organizers and I said, hey, I bet you made hand over fist at this shit. And they're like, no, man, we're down $5,000 because we had to buy beer and shit. Like, that's what this mayor's office focused on trying to compensate. I don't know if enough people knew that we were willing to do that. That said, I will pledge to make it more apparent that if you are very clear and concise with the expenditures that you need to make in order to make something happen on the streets, then I will make sure that you get compensated by the state so that you are able to operate at a positive.
Okay. Right on. That's all I had.
Mr. Cletus Cornwood.
Oh. Okay, so I'm gonna be going first here. I have a question. My name is Cletus Cornwood, and Esquire. I'm gonna be running for the PD liaison position. For y'all, as mayor, what would y'all's expectation be of a liaison position, particularly the PD liaison position, at city council meetings and whatnot?
I'd like to see, well, Malcolm Nakota tried his best. That said, I believe he made the mistake of feeling as though he had to answer to his high command in those meetings, and for the first several of them, he was most certainly at times afraid to say certain things because he had to go back and talk to his bosses, which is actually in contrast to what Alan Crane envisioned for roles like that. It was to give people that aren't in these command positions a voice, right? But he ended up being a patsy for his captains anyway, which was super fucking unfortunate. He ended up suggesting penal code changes, which is the purview of the Chief Justice, and he essentially allows us to comment on as a courtesy. So what I would like to see from a PD liaison is someone who focuses less on trying to bring new charges to the table. I would like to see the PD liaison instead focusing on stuff that has to do with internal SOPs, so that they can come and lobby to the Council of 8 with ideas to maybe change them or improve them so that it becomes easier for members of the LSPD to actually better do their job, and to do so without fear of being reprimanded by their superiors, because they understand that is the purpose of that role. I hope sincerely that the next person who is the PD liaison is brave enough to do that. And there is definitely a lot of room for improvement, and I am definitely 100% as the mayor willing to make that improvement happen.
Without having to regurgitate, I think is the word, what Max has said. Like, the PD liaison has to also be for the people. They need to realize that they're in a position where they can not just do something for PD, but also for the people as a whole, which I think, unfortunately, Nakota has not done. I think Nakota was dealt a questionable hand, but that is something that I want to see from the PD liaison going forward, is that it's not just for the PD, it's for people, and for people as a whole is something they need to bring forward.
Okay.
Mr. Conwood, is this in regard to yourself, if you were the PD liaison, or the PD liaison in general?
I mean, either or. I was gonna just either or.
Either or. Well, so firstly, I would say that that would be a tragedy, since last time I gave a report to you about police misconduct. You managed to write a 20-minute thing into like 4 sentences. So hopefully that does not happen.
No, actually, what I did was I read that entire statement back to you, and I asked you, is this okay? Gave you the report number, and I gave you a copy of said report. So everything that you said, I read back to you, and I said, does this work for your report exactly? And you said yes.
We can absolutely publicize that. But as for the second part, I think police liaison need to make sure that the entire needs of the PD are bringing up to the mayor. And secondly, that the focus of that liaison is for the public safety that go beyond how people feel safe rather than the results of how many arrests are being made.
Okay. So what about, like, you know, in regards to the city council? Can you elaborate on that?
In regard to the city council?
Yeah, like, I mean, you're talking about more of a PRO, like public relations officer position.
In the city council, that police liaison would have to be giving the needs of the PD, but they also the person that need to be going back to the police department. So therefore, that while they may be representing the police in a way, they're also going to be representing the people and their interface with the PD as well.
Okay.
Are you still confused, though?
No, I'm not confused. Okay, very good. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Pillager, I'll hold your hand. Don't worry. Pillager, just get up there and I'll hold your hand, Pillager. Don't be nervous.
Hello, Mr. Warden. Hello, Pillager. Pillager, what is it? What's your question?
Pillager, just bring it in.
Let him have it, villager. Let him have it.
Okay, so
Woo, villager.
Bill is saying that he has 2 questions. Is that okay? I'm translating for him. He asked me to.
Sure.
Okay.
It's okay, Pillager. Don't cry. I'm with you.
Fuck you, Bobby.
True.
Okay. He's asking, how do you feel about Big Pharma? And would you be willing to push pills and vaccines on everyone to fix the headaches that people are having in the city?
No.
Okay. Next question, Bill.
No, hold on. Everyone else gets to answer.
Oh, yeah.
No, I say no to the...
Based. So based.
Talking about the communist stuff that Pillager was talking about.
Right. Okay. Ville's second question is, Ville has all these great ideas for agriculture and commerce in the city. How do you feel about the development of farming and mining for emeralds up north, or his business where he focuses on vehicle customizations, particularly with their tires? He wants to call it Rim World. Was that right? Okay, there you go.
Sounds incredibly good.
Rim job or something? I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Send it. Go for it.
Yeah, it sounds good, dude.
Ask him about being paid off by the Chinese Communist Party.
He's asking if he can ask a third question.
Sure. I will say, in the spirit of, we've been here for almost 2 hours. After the guy in the checkered shirt, we're probably going to call it, I think, guys.
Oh, hell no, cuz. I
Yeah.
have a question, cuz.
If it's
All
a
right.
short question, I guess maybe.
Depends on how long your guys' questions are. I just don't want to keep
which
everyone
checkered
here.
shirt, blue or red?
The red one.
Y'all
Red
might
one.
need to hurry the fuck
Okay.
up, cuz.
Hey, Gray.
I'm about to stab a motherfucker in this bitch.
He's asking about how you feel about the communists and liberals. What do you think about rounding them up and sticking them in the sewers?
Well, my policy on mime speaks quite well to my ability to deal with second-class citizens.
Okay, all right.
I have to just regurgitate. Fuck that word.
Can you say that question? What is this about the sewers?
It's gonna be real short.
We'll
to make sure you get to ask your. That's fucked up.
That is fucked up, cuz. I've been in this motherfucker. I've been here
the whole time.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
cuz.
right. Okay. Sorry about that. I
So
should
I
have
gotta
remembered.
ask my question.
He's asking about how y'all feel about communists and liberals and how you feel about rounding them up and putting them in the sewers.
The sewers have a lot of people that live there, and putting anybody down there where people live would be very unfortunate. That we should support people down there, not make their life miserable.
Okay. All right. You good? Okay. All right. He's good. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Villager. Thank you, Translator Cletus. Thank you, Bobby Charles. Mac McCormick, you're up.
Ha 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 ha.
Be great, Pillager.
What up?
So I wanted to ask if, other than obviously Tuggz, if you guys would be open to the suggestion of not a time of day restriction on walking, but an hourly maximum walking week. Would both of you be open to that as well? Because I think that's a good suggestion, personally.
So myself, my wife, as chief of staff, and Michael Simone, we did flirt briefly with the idea of imposing a maximum work week, or like hour work, like it was like 40 hours or some shit.
Yeah, because
it would
be
end
better, I believe, than a time of day restriction.
I agree, and the time of day restriction was something that the state decided. It wasn't anything that the Council of Eight decided on.
Oh, I know, I'm old.
So initially I was for a 40-hour work week or something similar, because it would give people more time, in theory, to socialize. But the problem is it doesn't give them that time. It forces them to do that. And at the end of the day, except for in probably very extreme cases, it is not in the best interest of the people of Los Santos to be forced to do anything. So I personally am not for a 40-hour work week. If someone wants to wake up and go to work, then please.
Yeah, no, I
Michael?
agree.
Okay.
If you want me to expand a little on your question from my earlier answer, I think that I'm very much for 20, roughly. 20 is a lot of time for people to be working in Los Santos. And I think if people are able to work nonstop, what that does is you now, as a person that have a life beyond just sitting in a truck all day, have to compete with people with millions of dollars for anything, and that is shit. Now, I do think it should be like soft cap, so 20 hour. After 20 hour, your next 20 is 50% pay, and so on and so forth.
A progressive system.
Yeah, just to not just sound like I'm agreeing with everything. I feel like people need to work when they want to work in a way that isn't too much. In terms of how many hours, I can't say, but you know, like a normal work week is probably what would be the best.
Yeah, I get the feeling that from a lot of people that the sort of consensus is that they feel like they're falling behind because there is people who wake up, get in a truck, drive, speak to someone, drive, and those who enjoy, actually socializing and, as Tuggz rightly put it, have a life. I feel like some of them feel like they're falling behind when they're not in the reality, in the grand scope of things, but they do feel like they are, and it's causing this sort of infection of the mind where people believe that they need to be working more than they actually really need to. That's just my 2 cents on that.
That is not a... Can I say something? It's why I like having people get paid more so they can work less is basically to give them the freedom to hang out with their friends. You don't have to work 24/7. They don't have to, go do G6 all the time. They have the freedom to go out and do something else. Events, hang out with friends, go to the bar, etc., etc.
I still feel like it will still cause problems with inflation because we will still have these individuals who don't have much of a life to speak of, basically, causing massive spikes in inflation, which is what we saw with the vehicles when manufacturers decided that they were going to start sending vehicles for all.
There is always going to be, I wouldn't call it an issue, but there's always going to be people that will focus on, there's people that like to work more than there is people, I'm not saying that there's more people that like to work, but there's people that focus on their job and making it rather than having fun with their friends. They sacrifice the freedom to work over the, the social aspect of hanging out with people and working less. And that is just that's just what they choose over somebody else. I don't think we as the mayor's office or me can really do much about that. If you're fine with working all the time, not hanging out with your friends, then I don't think I can step in and say, hey, you should calm down. You should, hang out with your friends. That is what they choose.
I would have more to say on this piece, but keep it short. I'm just going to go to another question I had, which was, is there any possibility, and I'm talking about this from is this even a possibility, of a progressive tax system, such as, based on net worth, assets owned and such, to keep people on a level playing field and ensure that the budget has sufficient funds whilst also not, making the less affluent pay out, what they cannot afford.
I'm not entirely opposed to that idea. The problem becomes, what would they get taxed on, right? Like what part of their income, like their income tax? Like how are they getting income tax? Like how do you classify them? Like how does the system classify them as making a certain amount of money? Therefore, they're going to be hit with more income tax. I'm not opposed to that. I'm not. The functionality isn't there. I don't know when it would ever come. That said, if I had an option to, I don't know, tax Marlo Stanfield 12% on income tax instead of the current 6%, so long as he stayed above $3 million in his bank account or whatever, for sure, I'm down on that. And that would make it easier to give more money to everyone else who isn't a millionaire.
Yeah,
by a lot.
We did talk about like a luxury kind of tax, which I also kind of approve of, but it's only just been a talk so far.
I think it's a good idea.
I understand there's a functionality problem there with the way that the budgets are probably run. So it was more a question of, can it happen if the functionality does become, if you figure out a way to do it, would you do it? Tuggz, would you do it?
Would this be based on like they already have the money and they're spending it, or is this like the future money they earn?
This would be, so see like the example Max gave, one guy has, he's got like maybe $500K in the bank account, he's got $1.5 million car, he's got $1 million house, so net worth total, he's got $3 million, so everything he earns in the future is taxed to, 20% versus someone who's just fresh off the plane and is doing the first job gets taxed like 2%, something along those lines.
So I think I think with sort of the thing we talked about earlier, with finding a way to like limit how much you can work, I think over time this is going to would sort this kind of thing out. I'm not a big fan of taking away something that someone already earned through taxing, and it also sound really complicated and a lot of paperwork, and fuck paperwork, dude.
All right. That was it.
Thank you, Mac.
Thank God.
Checkered shirt fella.
Hey, you come up there with me, because they've been making you wait. Come on.
All right, cuz.
Hello. What's your name, sir?
Come on.
Oh, I could go first, cuz?
Yeah.
All right. So my name 2-Bit.
Sorry. Can you guys both speak up? I couldn't hear the other guy.
Can you hear me, cuz?
No, I can hear you 2-Bit.
Hello? My name.
Hi.
Yo,
Alright,
I'm
what
2-Bit from the South Side. Feel me? I have a couple of questions for the community. Feel me?
Sure.
I just got a couple of questions that I gotta ask for each candidate and shit.
And,
all right.
So you know this is the last question, everybody. Continue 2-Bit. I'm sorry.
All right, cuz. So, I have this little questionnaire that I gotta ask. You know, y'all can answer it however y'all want to answer it. My first question is, feel me? This gonna help us determine who we want to vote for the mayor and shit, right? The first question is, what is your favorite flavor pack of ramen noodles, cuz?
Beef.
It's fucking
Beef?
ramen. It's
Yep.
not ramen.
He said beef, cuz.
Yeah, it's ramen. It's fucking ramen.
Anybody else, cuz?
Oh, sorry, can you repeat the question?
What's your favorite flavor pack of ramen noodle, cuz?
There is a right answer to this.
I honestly, I'm gonna say, isn't there's a shrimp flavor, right?
Oh, God. One said beef, one said shrimp.
Yeah, there you go.
Holy fuck.
Oh, Lord. All right.
Y'all whiter than mayonnaise. What the fuck is
I like
going
the
on up
one
here?
that come in the red and black packet and it burn your asshole, dude. That shit good.
He's talking about Bulldog, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, Bulldog.
Two-time spicy Bulldog, baby.
That's what I'm talking about, little Tuggz.
All right.
Man.
What's your favorite flavor Kool-Aid?
Red.
All right. There you go. All right.
Red.
Red. All right.
What the question, dude?
Favorite flavor Kool-Aid, cuz?
Oh, Kool-Aid, dude, or the blue one, dude?
All right. You fell in dramatically. All right. Full House or Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Fresh Prince.
You died right.
Fresh Prince. All right.
Yeah, Fresh Prince.
Okay.
The fuck? I only 19, bro.
All right. You definitely not getting my vote. All right.
I
let's
also
see.
can't come, so I don't think it's gonna work, dude.
All right. Mac and cheese or coleslaw, cuz?
Mac and cheese.
Yep, I got.
Mac and
Yeah,
cheese,
mac and
all right.
cheese.
Okay. All right. So this the bonus questionnaire here. All right. What's the two main characters off the Boondocks?
Huey and what's his fucking name?
If you don't know this, you're not a real one.
Riley.
All
All
right.
right. How about the next person? What do you think, cuz?
Yeah, Huey and right. What did you say? What do you say? Huey and I forgot the second one. Sorry.
All right, and last person, you got to answer, or you?
Dude, what did Boomo ask question, dude?
Yeah, you definitely not getting my vote, cuz. All right, that's all I had, cuz. We'll go discuss this in the community, feel me, and we're gonna decide what we're gonna do. All right. But for sure, that last guy definitely ain't getting our vote, cuz.
Okay.
Yo, wait, hold on. Can I ask you a question, dude?
What's up, cuz?
Yo, what's your favorite Fortnite skin, dude?
Fortnite.
Yeah, Skull Trooper!
Hey, cuz, we couldn't afford Fortnite. The last game I played was Super Mario.
What do you mean it for free, dude? What the
cuz,
fuck?
You gotta buy the PlayStation, cuz.
Damn,
You gotta buy the PlayStation. I couldn't afford that shit. Sure, it took me a good 20 years just to get a Nintendo.
Hey, if you'd stop stabbing cops, maybe you'd.
They have
you'd
an
be
app
able to
now on your
afford it.
phone, dog. It's free.
You mind your own business, Frost.
Okay.
Hey,
Thank
you know me
you.
personally, I want to
Oh,
take
God.
that 2-Bit. That's just me, though. Hey, I want to take that disrespect.
Don't worry. I'm gonna go patrol the south side in a few. Don't worry. They gonna get it.
Thank you,
All right,
2-Bit, for
appreciate y'all,
keeping the
cuz.
South Side safe. I appreciate you
Feel
and
me
the
on
community.
6-0, cuz. On 6-0. Hey, appreciate you, cuz. Thank you
And,
for letting me go ahead and answer my questions. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate the time.
That is it, I believe. I think we are good.
Checkered guy.
Hold on, Mr.
Hey,
Mayor. Checker guy had a quick question. It's gonna be quick.
Yeah.
Checker guy, he had a quick question.
I thought you guys were.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Right.
All right,
Is this
all right,
a mayor debate at the Dust Bowl?
Vinewood Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah. Where do I check in?
Here.
Apparently I'm supposed to be up here debating.
Oh my God.
Wait, what's
You're
your
a
name?
little
dude?
late there, son.
Douglas. I'm running
Douglas.
independent.
There's Mr. Loftis from the
Clemens Family Furniture Company.
Clemens Family Furniture. Yep.
Cool.
Wait, no, I know you. You ran last election, didn't you?
Yeah, he's running again.
Yeah.
You're the guy who got 0 votes.
Yeah.
Oh.
I forgot to vote.
What? You didn't even vote on yourself?
No, I was in my motel room watching skin flicks.
Yeah, word.
I can vote for that guy.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
watching
where
that
do
good?
I check in? I know I got an email. It was I couldn't figure out how to get into my email. I'm not too good with technology. And so I walked down here from Polita. That took I don't know how long. I thought we had to go to the stadium down there by the big ocean. That was wrong. So I walked back into the city to Senior Buns, and a pleasant lady told me that it was being held here at the Dust Bowl. So I walked up here, and I just got here. I didn't know where to check in about 5 minutes ago.
Douglas, I saw that you were standing in line for probably about 45 minutes. Thank you for waiting.
Right.
We're done. We're done.
All right. So I ain't got to answer shit?
Nah.
Nope, you're good.
All right, perfect. Vote Douglas.
All right.
What's the point?
That's what Douglas.
Medical?
Yeah,
Thank you everyone for coming. I'm sure some of the candidates will stick around to speak to you afterwards, or they may not. Up to them. If you do have any questions, I highly suggest you reach out to these folks whenever you may see them out and about. Voting will last 1 week until Saturday around 7 Eastern. So just, consider your votes carefully. Remember, you only have one. So choose wisely, and best of luck to all the candidates. Thank you.
Talk to us. We do care. We want to hear what you have to say.